Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Expected extreme cold temps tomorrow are prompting school leaders to cancel classes in Fargo and West Fargo, along with a growing list of other school districts.
In Moorhead, they decided to cancel classes tomorrow and Wednesday. Decisions from the Big Three were made tonight as district leaders didn't want to take any chances.
Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer joins us with more on what's ahead for the rest of the week. Melanie?
Andrea, Mike, the decisions to cancel classes were made after a conference call tonight among district leaders. The move includes all extracurricular activities as well. And when the news broke, the explanation was pretty much the same due to the combination of extreme cold temperatures and wind. Earlier in the day, the governors from Minnesota and North Dakota indicated that closing school would be a local decision, not something made on the state level. Fargo and West Fargo school districts say they don't have a set temperature when it comes to closing school, but they do consider several different factors.
Frostbite, extreme cold temperatures, being exposed to the cold, potentially any miscommunication about pickup or drop-off times, students that live in the rural areas that commute to school and their own vehicles breaking down, any trouble that we may have with our buses in the rural areas. Those are all things to take in consideration.
And with the forecast calling for just as bad or worse conditions in the coming days, our follow-up question was, what about Wednesday and Thursday? For Fargo and West Fargo, the answer was similar. They'll be checking the latest weather forecast tomorrow and decide what's best for Wednesday. The same approach for Thursday. And we should mention for West Fargo, they already have designated a makeup day for tomorrow. That's March 14th. All district offices and 12-month employees should report to work as normal. Andrea, Mike?
All right, thanks, Melanie. There are several other school districts that have either delayed the start of school or canceled classes altogether tomorrow. Go to our website, valleynewslive.com, to find out.
It's all about the temperatures over the next few days. Add whatever adjective you want: frigid, dangerous, ridiculous. We drop below zero tonight. Hutch, how low will it go?
Well, it's on its way down to near 20 below for tonight, and wind chills will be near 50 below. But in this cold stretch that lasts all the way until Friday, that's the next day, will be above zero. We'll have air temperatures that will be close to 50 below for some of our viewing area, and wind chills approaching 70 below zero. Believe it or not, it won't take much wind to get wind chills that low, as cold as we'll be. Record lows and coldest high temperatures ever for given dates are all possible as we go through the next several days. Remember your pets, dress in layers, and make sure that you're got that survival kit ready to go in the vehicle. Frostbite can happen in 10 minutes or less. Wind chill warning for the entire region until Thursday, as it's going to be cold. We are 9 below right now, 15 below in Roseau, 5 below Grand Forks. At Sisseton, holding on to 1 above zero, but they too are on their way down. Still some areas with some blowing snow, light flakes from time to time, and the wind is going to pick up some of these fluffy flakes tomorrow. I'll explain that, and we'll talk about how low the temperatures go in the area as we go through the next couple of days and when it warms up.
It's ugly.
It is very ugly.
All right, thanks.
As you heard, it's about to get dangerously cold, but it's about more than simply bundling up and staying warm.
Your mental health and well-being also take a hard hit during the winter months. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly explains important steps to make sure you're taking care of your body and your mind.
As temperatures drop and the winter season seems to drag on, sometimes the simplest activities feel like you're climbing uphill.
We tend to have a lot of concepts about cold weather, and when we think it's so cold outside, there's no way I can go outside. Let me stay at home and eat junk food and oversleep. But unfortunately, those things are not so helpful for our physical health and our mental health.
It's a common problem where people will become hermit-like, cutting themselves off from the world and end up with the winter blues.
If you're having a lot of negative thoughts about yourself, about the weather, you notice yourself complaining a lot, that can have a negative impact on our mental health.
But fighting the urge to enter winter hibernation is important to protect yourself.
If you are really becoming a hermit, isolating yourself, feeling really down and depressed, there are some behavioral things that you can do to boost your mood. Getting out, connecting with people, eating healthy, being active.
It can be as simple as making sure you're getting natural light or having bright colors in a room to boost your mood. Dr. Renardi even suggests having plants around your home or office to really make a difference.
So it is important to be able to take a step back and say, how am I doing? How am I doing on taking care of myself when it's so bitterly cold outside?
It's important to check in on yourself periodically through the colder months so that the winter blues don't get to you. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
It's recommended if you do find your mental health is suffering and self-management isn't enough, you should talk to someone and seek help.
A North Dakota woman has been sentenced to serve 4 years in prison for crimes related to fake adoption proceedings of Native American children. Betty Jo Krenz had a warrant issued for her arrest in April 2018 after investigators found she was staging adoptions, taking money and never producing a child for those wanting to provide foster care. Krenz turned herself in last August. Families say Krenz used her background as a Spirit Lake social worker to produce fake adoption papers. Krenz is being held in the Stutsman County Correctional Center on a $10,000 bond.
Half of North Dakota's tax revenue comes from oil production, and some lawmakers contend that those companies are not paying their fair share, and they want to increase oil extraction tax rate. Others say raising the tax could actually lead to less revenue.
Everything you do has an effect, and I'm not saying people are going to run away, but it will encourage you to shift your investment elsewhere. That's what we're trying to avoid.
The Senate Taxation and Finance Committee voted 5-1 against raising the extraction tax. And while the battle appears to be over for this session, many lawmakers expect it will come up again in the future.
North Dakota's Republican-led House has approved legislation that would require abortion providers to tell women undergoing drug-induced abortions that they could still have a live birth if they change their mind. The so-called abortion reversal legislation was approved 73-16 today. It now goes to the Senate. Supporters say doctors can give a woman the hormone progesterone to stop an abortion after she has taken the first of 2 medications needed to complete the abortion. However, the American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says there is no medically accepted evidence that a drug-induced abortion can be interrupted.
You're good to go if you want to file your tax return. North Dakota's tax office has started accepting them. They're encouraging a double check for typos and file early to help prevent fraud.
In the last 3 filing seasons, we've basically stopped 2,000 fraudulent refunds from being claimed. That's about $2 million that we've stopped from going out the door because we've enhanced our fraud detection capabilities. We've enhanced those practices.
Rauschenberger adds that more than 80% of last year's tax returns were filed online. If you need help preparing your returns, AARP is opening sites in cities across North Dakota. The service is free for low and moderate income taxpayers of all ages. There are 11 sites, including in Fargo at Olivet Lutheran Church, in Moorhead, the Yumkum Center, Faith Lutheran Church in West Fargo, as well as locations in Wahpeton and Grand Forks. You can find a complete list and their hours on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com.
Only 6 states and Washington, D.C. have a paid family leave plan. Some lawmakers want North Dakota to be the next state to do so. The program would mandate businesses with more than 50 employees offer paid leave. An employee would make 66% of their wages. Under the proposal, a person could have 12 weeks of coverage every calendar year. The idea is drawing a mixed response from people who would use it and people who don't want the government mandating laws like this.
Many individuals want to help their families out when there is a family illness. And when you are working full-time, you many times are unable to take time off because of the loss of wages and the stress that it'll have.
As we saw with other government mandates, many times the employees in the end pay for those mandates, many times depress wages and force employers to look at efficiencies.
The bill also has a section protecting workers from retaliation for using or requesting leave.